was wondering if you guys could touch on your workflow and how that fits into the particular style of an editor that you have.
Well, I mean, for me, I'm definitely super uptight about what that project looks like physically in the space. And I will say, like, I do like the co-editing thing, working with people, but because I'm so uptight in that way, and I'm tending to work with people that are a little more like free-flowing with like experimenting with how this all comes together, and like, oh, we should grab these assets over here and throw them in this bin there, and it doesn't matter where that is. Yeah, I focus on that a little too much, I'll be honest. And I mean, because obviously, like, the audience doesn't care when they look at it, like what your project file looks like how many bins you have, and how well things are labeled. But I like to organize up front for sure. And I mean, this documentary I'm talking about that we're working on right now, I spent like, I think almost 12, 13 days like organizing footage, and because of that, we were able to do like an assembly in like a 4-day span, just because like we knew everything where it was, like every single piece, and just put it together. So that's me. I'm uptight like that.
I am too.
Yeah.
Like way uptight about that. I need it to be so organized, or else I can't do anything. And for me, it's like all about like when you're in the flow of editing.
Right.
Like you need to be able to just stay in that flow. You can't like constantly be switching your brain back and forth between like, where's this shot? And now I have to go look for it. And like, wasn't it here? And then all of a sudden you just completely forget like what you're doing, you know? And so that's so important for me. It's like, I need to just stay in the flow. And if I know that I can find everything, then like, that's the most important thing to me. It's
a great explanation. Because the thing is, like, when you talk about being uptight about these things, it seems like, oh, it's just mechanical. It's like because you care about like the technology, but really it's so you can get into space, like you're saying, where it's like a natural thing, where it's like, okay, I'm at this part of the scene, I know exactly what comes next. Boom, there it is.
Yeah, it's
and like physical. You keep moving. Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, there's an efficiency too. I mean, I think I used to be a little bit more like, whatever, it doesn't matter what it looks like, bins everywhere, you know. But when you start working on longer and longer things, you spend, if it's not organized, you'll spend 6 hours of your day looking for things, and actually 2 hours like editing, you know, and that, you know, especially when people are paying you, that's really not acceptable. But then, you know, yeah, and if you front load all that work, it's like, you know, I'll spend the first 3 days transcoding, you know, I mean, that's where good assistant editors come in if you have them on your if you're lucky to have them on your projects. But I don't know. But in terms of, I actually, I think that's a really interesting question, and every film does it differently though, like in terms of how they organize things. And, you know, if you're the only editor, really that's up to you, but when you have like a team, like having a good workflow down is like crucial to be able to work with other people. And saves time and money, really. So I actually think narratives, when I watch what people did on like Ender's Game, like their post workflow is crazy with all like the special effects and who gets what resolution of what and how they online things. And I'm like, I could just throw everything on a timeline now and it works. So.
I also think the organizing process is like the first step of editing. It's like the way, like if I get to organize my own footage, I'm getting to watch the footage and know the footage, and then the way I decide to organize it in bins is how I'm thinking about putting it together. And so it helps me to sort of separate things out and like get subject matters together. And obviously narratives are different because you just have scenes and, you know.
I don't know. I'm good.
Well, I was going to say on some doc projects I've done similar things, or like we've had assistants do, you know, similar things, but then the problem we run into is it's like, oh, suddenly it's not about that anymore, you know, and then it's like, well, now all our organization is right, and then we have to reconsider, and that's when it gets tricky, right? I sort of feel like every 2 weeks, like on this TV show, somebody's like, there's got to be a better way. And it's like, well, there was 2 weeks ago and we did it. And that's what we're complaining about right now. So, you know, but we're changing what we're doing and what we're looking for. So, yeah, but on a narrative, it's just like the scenes in number order.
Yeah. I have a hard time not watching all the footage anyway. Like, I mean, handing it over. And I mean, So the last two films I worked on. So this one we did have some assistant editors helping us up front, and we had one assistant editor, Richard Sue, like all the way through for like the year in post, and it was awesome. And he kind of learned to be a VFX editor as well, because we have like 150 plus VFX shots, and so like that thing you're talking about with Ender's Game, like we're like a small version of that, but it's nuts. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's something I'll be able to let go of someday, but it's like I really want to be the person that's logging that footage, like every single piece of it and knowing it, and it's maybe not practical, but
no, I think it's a must because especially in documentaries, but there's like that one thing that if you didn't see, that could make the difference in a movie. I mean, and the funny thing is when you're solving problems after you do the test screening, it could be this line that you just threw away that on itself doesn't make a lot of sense, but in the context totally solves the problem. And if you didn't watch that line, you don't know it exists, you know?